Hello, my name is Muhammad Satria Rahmatul Adha. Then I will tell you the exercise one. A program receives input of two integers from the user. After receiving input of two integers, the program provides output in the form of the largest integer entered by the user. Create a flowchart plus pseudocode for this case, which is the flowchart and pseudocode will be explained by my friend. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good afternoon or good evening or good morning or good whatever is that. Yeah, back with me again, and here I will explain to you about the flowchart from the exercise one that the question is was read by the my friend before, Mr. Satria. So this is the what it look like. I need to zoom it first. So at first, we need to start using this kind of symbol, which is we call it. What we call it in the term? Yeah, it's start and stop. Oh, it's start and stop. I should write stop here, not start. So wait up for a second. And yeah, this is how it look like. Um, yeah, as you see in the question one, the program ask us to make a program uh, will that will get an output the largest integer that we enter, which is it will be look like this. First, we need to start the program, of course, and then input A and B. After that, we check whether A is greater than B. If it's yes, output will be A, and if it's no, output will be B. And yeah, with that, we will stop it. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Fibran Shafalevi and my name is F1D02510008 and 2. Okay, so I will tell you about the pseudocode of the exercise number 1. So this is the pseudocode, okay? So first we write input x and y for the integer x and y, okay? Then move to the condition if x is more larger or same as y, then print x, okay? Else other condition if print y. Okay, so the other condition is if x is more smaller than y, then print y, okay? And if to the end the program. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Back with me again, and I will continue the explanation for the exercise to here. So the question is a program receive input of two integer from the user. After receiving input of two integer, the program provides output in the form of the largest odd integer entered by the user. It should be noted there is possibility that there are no odd numbers entered by the user at all. And you need to create a flowchart and pseudocode for this case. There's a hint for it, and we use modulo arithmetic. Modulo is a mathematical notation for calculating the remainder of a division. For example, for modulo of 14 and 3 is 2 because 14 divided by 3 is 4 with a remainder of 2. So yeah, we will meet in the next section.
Hello everyone. Meet with me again. Okay, so I will explain about the flowchart from exercise number 2. Okay, so this is the flowchart of the exercise number 2. Okay, so first we create the star, okay, for the program. Then we create the input for integer a and b. Then we set the value of max to minus, okay, to minus 2, 1, 4, 7, 4, 8, 3, 6, 4 and 8. Okay, we set the value of the max to the min to units like this. Okay, so then to the process, if a mod 2 is not same as 0, then if yes, if mod 2 is same as 0, if not same as 0, then if yes, max, we set the value of max to the a. If no, then we move to here to another process. If b mod not same as 0, then b is then if b more larger than max, if yes, then max will be, we need to set the value of max to be b, okay? If no, we continue to here. If another explanation, okay, if max not same as the value we set in the first? Then if yes, then will output will be max. If no, it will be continue to the stop. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. The pseudocode will be explained by my friend.
So you back with me again, Satria. Uh, I will tell you about the pseudocode of the number two. First, we declare a and b as integer, and then we declare max odd as integer with the value of minus 2147, etc. And the third line, we declare hash odd as a boolean of false. The fifth line, we input a and b and 7. If a modulus 2 is not equal to 0, then max odd is a, and hash odd becomes true, and we and if. And the 12th line, if b modulus 2 is not equal to 0 and b larger than max odd, then max odd is equals to b and hash odd is equals to true. And if hash odd, if hash odd, then output max odd and if. Thank you. We will be to the next exercise.
Okay, everyone, back again with me. So I will tell you about the exercise number 3. Okay. So in exercise number 3, we need to make a program that requires input of 3 integer from user. Okay. After receiving input of 3 integers, the program provides output in the form of the largest integer entered by the user. Okay. So we need to make the program that will allow 3 integer to, then after that the output will be the largest integer. Okay. This is the okay the no okay the perintah create a flowchart plus pseudocode for this case. Then this is the note. Okay, there is a possibility that some of the inputs may have the same value. Okay, so we need to make the program that even if the input is the same, the output is still the largest. Okay, so the flowchart and pseudocode will explaining by my friend.
So you come back with me again. I will tell you about the exercise 3 flow chart. So we have a circle right here for the start, and we have the input table here with input A, B, and C. So and we have a process here. Assign A to max, and if B larger than max, we we assign b to max, and if not, then we assign max to c. Then if max if c larger than max, we assign c to max, and if no, then we output the max, and then we have a circle here to stop. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, good back with me again, and here we will explain to you about the pseudocode from the exercise 3. So first, we need to declare the ABC variable as a integer type data, and here we need to print masukan so it can more obvious. It can more obvious when we input the value of the variable. Then we need to check whether the a is will whether the a is greater than b. If it's yes, then we will check it again if it's a greater than c, and if it yes again, we will output a. We will gonna get a as our output, and after it we need to end if to close the if statement here. And if it's a is not greater or equal to b, we need to check the other possibility, like b is greater than a. If it's yes, we will check it again. If it's b greater than c, we will get the b as our output here, and of course we close the if statement with end if. And if it's the if it, the condition above is not meets, then we need to check the last possibility, whether is c is greater than a. Then after that, if it's yes, if we're gonna check again if it's c is greater than b, then If it's yes again, we will get the C as the output of this program. So we need to close the if statement again with and if, and yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
So you're back with me again. This time we will read the exercise form. In exercise 4, a program receives input of three integers from the user. After receiving the input of three integers, the program provides the output of in the form of the largest odd integer entered by the user. It should be noted that there is a possibility that there are no odd numbers entered by the user at all. So, if there is no odd numbers entered by the user, the output will be nothing. That's all from me. Thank
Hello
you.
everyone, good back with me again, and here we at the exercise part, the flowchart section here. I will explain to you about the flowchart here. So first we need to start, of course, and input A, B, C, because in the question we need three input from the user, and we set the max at 2 billion sekian here, 2 billion etc here, and because that is the limit of the integer value they can hold. So and then the we check the variable a using the decision shape here, or in Indonesia we call it belah ketupat. And the check is gonna say whether the a is modulus 2 not equal to 0, or yes. It means whether the a is odd or no. So if it's yes, it's gonna be set the AR as max value here, and after that we check the B. We check the B whether it's odd or not, and whether the B is greater than max value. We is max value which has value of A before. And if it's yes, we set the value of max with B, and after that since we need three input of integer here, so we need to check the last input, which is C, whether the C is odd or not, and whether the C is greater than max, which has a value of B. And if it's yes, it's gonna be max, it's gonna be assigned with C. And for the last for to make ensure that there is no even number, there is no even number here, we need to ensure that max is not equal to this value, which is 2 billion whatever is that. So if it's yes, it will be print the max value here, which is whether it's A, B, or C. But if it's not, it will be goes to the no path, and it will just stop without any output. So for that's all from me, and goodbye.
Okay, so back with me again. Now I will explain the pseudocode for exercise number 4. Okay, this is it. Okay. Okay, first we need to declare the integer a, b, c. Okay. Then second one we need to declare again the max odd as integer. Then set value to the minus 9999. Okay, for the first value. Then we declare again for the hash odd as boolean and set it to false. Okay, continue. uh, we need to we print the masukan angka for the user, so the user know to input the integer, masukkan angka, then create the input for integer a, b, and c. After that, we move to the condition. If a moderation 2 is not same as 0, then max odd will be set as a, okay, as the a value. Then hash odd is changed from false to true. And if then the second condition, if b moderation 2 is not same as 0 and b is more larger than the value of max odd, then max odd will be set as a value of b. Then hash odd still has the value of true, okay? And the third condition, if C moderation 2 is not same as 0 and C is more larger than the value of max odd, then the max odd will be set value as C, okay? Then has odd, the same still has value of true. And the last condition, if has odd, then print angka ganjil terbesar adalah print max odd. Okay, so the output will be print max odd, the last value that max odd has. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
So here I will read to you about the exercise 5. What is exercise 5 here? First, we need to make a program that receive an input of integer, and after that, the program asks the user to enter an positive integer. It means we need to enter positive integer as many as n we entered before, and the output of the program is the largest integer entered by the user. It should be noted that the user may enter a negative integer, where is the case need to be handled by the program by ignoring the number. So we need to make a flowchart and pseudocode for this case. So we will meet again.
You meet with me again. So we will start with I'm gonna tell you about the exercise 5 flowchart. So as you can see, we're gonna start here. Then we assign the max value and the I value to 0. Then we input the n input entered by the user, and if n is less or equal 0, if yes, then we will go to input n again. So this will prevent the user to input a negative number. So if no, if not less, then if the n is larger than 1, if it's no, then output is the max valuation. The output is the max valuation, and we're stopping here. If it's yes, then we input the num, and the flowchart also asks the if statement if num is larger or equal than 0. If it's yes, then we will go to num max file. Or it will ask again if num larger than max file, and if no, if num is not larger or equal than 0, it will go again to ask. Oh no, it will go again to I plus II. So if it's yes, this is the one. If num is larger than equal to 0, the num is larger than max valuation. And yes, if num is larger than max valuation, if yes, then max val is and num is assigned to the max val. And if no, it will go to I plus I, and this sequence start all over again, and doing that until the n is not larger than I. So it will go to stop. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, guys, back with me again. Okay, so I will explain about the pseudocode of exercise number 5. Okay, so first, of course, we need to declare again the n and the num as an integer. Then declare counter as integer and set the value to 0. Okay, in here. Then declare the max value, okay, as integer and set it to 0 again. Then declare first positive as boolean and set it to true. Then we continue. Print masukkan banyak angka to show to the user where to put the value, okay? Then this is for the input n, so the user can input number. Then we need to we continue to the loop, okay? To the loop while the number, the number is more smaller or same as 0, then the program will do input n. Then the program will ask to the user to input another number, okay? The program will ask the another number with the print masukkan angka positif, okay? then and while for the loop. So as long as the user is not enter the positive angka positive or the positive value, the program will ask again the another input until the user input the positive value. Okay, then after that we continue to here to another loop again while counter is more smaller than the number, then the program will print masukkan angka positif ke, then the counter will be +1, then the input, then the program will ask for another input. Okay, input number, then we move to this condition. If number is more smaller or same as 0, then continue, or else if first positive is true or number is more larger than max value, then max value will set as the number. Okay, atau or max value will set as the number value, and first positive will turn into false, and if to end the program, then counter will be counter +1 and while. Okay, so here and while is for end the loop in here. Okay, wait, oh, in here for on end the loop in here. Okay, then it will be continue loop until uh, the ketentuan is terpenuhi. Aduh, setengah bahasa Ci. Then move to here. If first positive is same as fails or set as fails, then print the program will output print max value and if for end the program. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. And we move to the next exercise. Okay, everyone, back again with me. Okay, so I will explain about the question of the exercise number 6. So in exercise 6, we need to make a program that prepares an input of an integer n. Okay, after that the program asks the user to enter an integer. The output of the program is the number of odd numbers and the sum of all odd numbers entered by the user. So in the exercise number 6, we need to make a program that first we need to input the n integers. Then after that, the user need to input again. Yeah, input again number or the integer that as much as the n integer. So if the n integer is 6, then the user will need to input 6 number of integer. Okay, then the output will be as number of the odd numbers and the sum of all odd numbers. Okay, the flowcharts and the pseudocode will be explained by my friends. Thank you.
Alright, back with me again, and here I will start to explain about you the flowchart of the number 6. Here we need to start the program first and initialize the counter equal to 0, count out equal to 0, and sum out equal to 0. And then we're gonna get to the input n value here and check whether is n greater than whether is n less than 0 or not. If it's yes, we're gonna input it again, do some input here, and until it will force you to input the positive integer here. So after that, it will count the it will check whether its counter is less than n. If it's yes, it will go to here to input num and then check the num value. Is the num value is less than 0 or not? If it's yes, it will come here again and check the condition and force you to input the num value again. And if you sure that your input is positive here, it will going to here. We're going to here and we'll check the whether the num is odd value or odd number or not. And if it's not, the program will run here, not gonna execute because the odd number will be ignored. And then if it's yes, the count odd will be increased by one, and sum odd will be when sum odd, or the total of the sum of the odd number here, will be increased by the value of num. And yeah, the counter will gonna be increased by one here, and it will looping again here until the condition in here was met. And if it's not if it's this program was reached this limit, it will be print the count of the odd number and the sum value of the odd number, and the program will end like that. And yeah, that's it.
So hello, I'm gonna tell you about the pseudocode of number 6 exercise. So first we declare num, we declare n and num as an integer, and we declare counter as an integer and assign the value of the counter to 0. Then we declare the count off as the integer and we assign the value to 0. And also we declare the sum out as a integer and we assign the value to 0. And we print the masukkan banyak angka and we input n. And for the while looping here, while n is less than 0, do masukkan bilangan positif ke plus counter plus 1. So this is, and then we input the n number here for n and 1. So what this looping do? This looping do is prevent the user from entering a negative number. And after the user enter a positive number, we're gonna go to the while count or while looping here and check if the counter is less than n. If it's yes, do print masukkan bilangan positif ke counter plus 1 and then the input num again. And if num is less than 0, then we continue. Else and if the num modulus 2 is not equal to 0, then count odd is assigned to count odd plus 1 and sum odd is assigned to sum odd plus num. And if, and this is the and if for this one, and the counter will still counter plus 1 and while. And after that we print the jumlah angka ganjil adalah for the count out, and then print hasil penjumlahan angka ganjil by the sum out. So that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. You're back with me again. So right now we're gonna do the exercise. I'm gonna tell you about the exercise 7, which is the important one. In exercise 7, a program will run continuously, asking the user to enter an integer and will only stop if the user enters a negative integer. And the program output are the largest positive integer, the average, and the smallest positive integer entered by the user. So there are three outputs. There are three outputs of the program. If the user never enter a positive integer at all, the program output is showing number 0 for all the three requested information. So we're gonna make a flowchart and pseudocode for this case. So that's all from me.
Hey everyone, back with me again. So I will explain about the part. Okay everyone, so back with me again. So here I will explain about the flowchart of exercise number 7. Okay, so at first we make the star. Okay, the star of the program, then input the number. Okay, after that in here, if the number is less than 0, then it directly to stop. Okay, but if no, if the number is not smaller than the 0, then max will be set the value to the number, and the minimum also will set the value of number. Then the counter is set value to 1, and the sum is set the value of the number also. Okay, so here 3 is set the number of the value of the number, that is max, min, and sum, and the counter will be set of 1. Then continue to here, input another number, then back to decision again. If the number is less than 0, if yes, then we go to here, then the average will be set as a value of uh, sum per count. Okay, then continue to here, output will be max, minimum, and average. Output, the program will be the value of max, minimum, and average. Okay, but if the number is not less than 0, then we come to here. Okay, here where is the uh, the the loop. Okay, then if the number is not less than 0, then we go to another decision. If the number is more larger than the value of the max, if yes, then the value of the max will change to the value of the number. If no, the value of the max will not change. Okay, if no, we continue to here. But also if it yes, the value of the max will be changed to the value of the number. But two of the decision is gonna continue. The different only that the value of the max will change or not. Okay, so we continue to hear another decision again. If the number is more more smaller than the minimum, if yes, okay, then the minimum value will be set as the number value. If no, it will directly continue to here. Same like the max, okay? So the minimum also, the difference is only the value of the minimum will change or not. But the process is same, okay? We continue to here. Then after that, the count will be set as count plus 1, and the sum will set as sum plus number. Okay, after that back to the input number again and continue until the done is fulfilled. Okay, until here. If the number is less than 0, after that, okay, then it will continue to here. Okay, if it back to input number again, and if the number is more similar than 0, then it will be directed to here. The average will set as some number as the sum per count. Then the output will be the value of max, minimum, and the average. Okay, that's all explaining from me, and the future explaining about the pseudocode will be delivered by my friend. Thank you.
So we finally arrive at the pseudocode of exercise number 7. Here we at the first we need to declare a num as integer and max value as integer that will store the max value, and declare the min value as integer to store the min value, and declare sum as integer, and declare count as integer to find the average value of the program, or uh, of the number. So here first we need to entering the loop. While through here, it means the loop will gonna be run continuously until this condition. If num is less than 0, it will be break this loop, means it will be escape from this loop and going to this process. But at first we need to after that, first we need to make sure that we input the positive integer so we can see the output right here. So first we after we check whether the value of num is positive, then we check it. If the count is equal to 0, if it's yes, the max value will be assigned with num, and the min value with sign with num. And then after that, um, uh, need to note that this statement will gonna be run one times in the first iteration of this loop. And after that, this is not gonna be run anymore. And after the second iteration, it will just going to the else statement here, where is if num is greater than maxval, maxval will be assigned with the num value, and we gonna check the value of num again. If it's the num is less than minval, the value of minval will be assigned with num. And then for that, after that, the value of sum will be will be assigned with sum plus num, and the count will be assigned with count plus one, and the initialized value of sum is 0, and count itself is 0 too. And after we escape this loop, we need to check it again. This is for a special condition if we are not input positive integer at all, and then this is for the normal condition here. So we need to create new variable here to store the average value with the formula sum divide by count. And here is the type data of the average is double here, which is it has content decimal thing, and we need to print maxval to display the max value, and print average to display average, and print minval to display the minval. So, and that's the end of the program here. And yeah, so I'm sorry for you guys, it started getting dark here, because yeah, we're gonna going next to the next exercise, which is number 8. First, the program tell us to make a program that will ask the user to enter a positive integer, and the output of the program is to list all the factors of the number. Yeah, and create the flowchart pseudocode for this case. There is not here. The factor of number is a number that divides the given number completely without any reminder. So the number that will modulo by some number that will result in 0. So that's what is a factor, and we will gonna see what is the flowchart look like.
Hello everyone. So you're back with me again. So this time I will start explaining about the exercise 8 flowchart. So the first thing first, we have to start the program. Then we input the n. After that, we assign 1 to the count. And then after that, we assign 1 to I. And if I is larger than n, then the program asks if I is larger than n. If it's no, then the program asks again if it's n modulus I is equal to 0. If it's yes, then it's output I, and then I plus and then the program assign I plus 1 to I. And if it's not uh n modulus I is not equal to 0, the program will langsung menuju ke assigning I plus 1 assigning to I, and then this sequence start all over again until the I reaches the I is larger than n, and then the program will stop, and then it shows the output. So thank you.
Okay, everyone, back again with me, Mario. So here I will explain about the exercise number 8 about the study code. Okay. So first of all, we need to declare again. We need to declare n as integer. Then second one, we need to declare count as integer and set the value as 1. Okay. Here we need to make print masukkan angka and input n, so user can input the integer, and the integer will uh, get into the n input. Okay, so uh, if the user uh, input 1 as the masukan angka in here, so the integer will be 1, set value as 1. Okay, then here is the loop while number n, okay, while n is less than 0, then the program will print masukan angka positif because the program will only let the positive integer. Okay, here we did input n again, so the user can input another value, another integer until the user input the positive integer. If not, the program will ask the integer again and again. Okay, because here is the loop, so the user will only input the positive integer. If not, it will loop endlessly. Okay, here for, okay, for I uh for I same as 1 to n do. Okay, if n moderation I is same as 0, then the program will print factor ke plus count plus. Okay, count plus same as plus 1 plus I, then the output, the count out is the output, the count, the counter will be set as counter plus 1, and if and 4, then the print will be new line. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Here I am again, and I will explain about the exercise number 9. So, in the program, in the exercise number 9, we need to make a program that will ask the user to enter a positive integer. The output of the program is to write the number of factors of the number that the user input. Okay, so the flow chart and the code will be explained by my friend later. Okay, thank you.
So hello everyone here. We're back with me again, and here we are the different place and different time, of course. And here we are at the exercise number 9, which is tell us to make a program to with the output of the number of factors some number. And here we need to start. We need to start a program first and initialize the I variable with 1 and factor variable with 0 here. And after that, we need to input a number here and check whether the number is negative or not. If it's yes, it will be just force you to input the number again until you input the positive number. And after that, we need to check whether the I is greater than num. If it's yes, it's gonna be directly to the output, and if it's not, it will enter the main loop here. And this is the program this is what should the program should do. And here, if it's no, uh, the program will check the num again. If it's the num modulus I is equal to 0. If it's yes, the factor will increase by 1. The factor variable will increase by 1 here. And if it's not, it directly goes to the increment of I, which is going to check again. So after this condition is met, the the program will just run with the output count here. I'm sorry, it should be count, but it should be a factor here because I use a different variable. So the output will be factor we operate here, and yeah, just like that. Thank you.
Hello everyone. So we're gonna talk about the exercise 9. Uh, pseudocode. So the first line, we declare num as an integer, and we declare a factor as an integer, and we assign the value of factor as 0. And line 4, we print masukkan bilangan, and we at line 5, we ask the user to input the value of num. And 7, in line 7, we are gonna go to a loop here, a while loop where num is less than 0. We do masukkan bilangan positif, we print masukkan bilangan positif, and we input num and while. This looping is to prevent user from entering a negative number, and this is for we're gonna go through her loop here also. We're gonna go through a for loop. For I equals 0 to none, as the user input num here, do if num modulus I is equal to 0, then the factor is factor plus 1, as and if and for. And as the last one, we print jumlah faktor adalah the factor inside the for loop here after the for loop has been done. So that's all from me. Thank you. Hello everyone. So you're back with me again, and this is the last exercise, which is the exercise number 10. In exercise number 10, a program asks the user to enter a positive integer. The output of the program is to determine whether the number is a prime number or not. A prime number is a number that has factor of 2, which is uh, 1 and that number itself. And we create a flowchart and pseudocode for this case. So the explanation will be explained by my friend.
Okay, everyone, so back with me again, and I will explain about the flowchart in exercise 10. Okay, so first, of course, we need to make the star. Then after that, we input the name, the number. After that, again, come to this process. We set I to 1. Okay, set the value of I to 1, and set the counter to 0. Okay, after that, we come to here decision. If I is more larger than num, okay, we continue to here. Here is where the loop happen. Okay, if I is not larger than the number, then another decision. Number moderation I is same as 0. If yes, then counter will plus 1. If no, it will direct to here, but same as the after the counter plus 1, it also direct to here. Different is only if no, the counter will be not plus 1. So if the continue to here process, okay, after that to here process is I set the value to I plus 1, then back again to here decision to check again if I is more larger than the number. If I is more larger than the number, then we continue to here another decision again. If counter is same as 2, if yes, the output will be prime. If no, the output will be not prime. Then stop. Okay, that is for the flowchart number 10, exercise 10. Then the pseudocode will be explained by my friend. Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, everyone, I think this is the last number here. We need to determine whether the number is prime or not. So first we need to declare n as integer here. After that we need to declare count as integer and assign the value with 0. And after that we need to input the number that we want to check if it's prime or not. And then we are in the for loop here. We need to do this loop until the I is equal I is less than or equal to n. So first we need to check whether the n modulus I is equal to 0. If it's yes, the count value will be increased by 1, and of course end if here, and to close the for loop we need to end for. After that we check whether the count is equal to 2. If it's yes, it's gonna be prime, and if it's not, it will be not prime, because the prime number is just only has the factor which is 1 and itself. And of course we need to close the if statement with end if here. And yeah, that's all from me, guys. Thank you very much.